Leonie, has Donald Trump clarified what his immediate plans are in Venezuela?
Well, so many questions still unanswered. President Trump is back in Washington. He's back from his holiday in Florida. And on the flight back, he spoke to reporters and he was asked all kinds of questions. Among them, who is in charge in Venezuela right now? And he said, we are in charge, as in the U.S. We know that the administration is in touch with Delcy Rodriguez, the interim president at the moment, or the interim leader of Venezuela at the moment. And Trump has been very clear that if she doesn't fall in line, he has threatened a second wave of strikes. And he's also said there would be a very big price to pay if she didn't fall in line. She has so far resisted until now. But now she says she's urging an agenda of cooperation with the United States.
Leonie, is there any clearer indication as to what the Trump administration means when it says that Washington will be running Venezuela for the foreseeable future?
Well, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, was asked about that. And he now says running Venezuela means running its policies to ensure that they are in line with the Venezuelan people, but also with U.S. national interests, he said. He also said that, look, Venezuela is still under quarantine. The U.S. would still be enforcing sanctions and seizing any sanctioned boats, as they have done in the past months. And he also was asked why the U.S. had decided to work with Delcy Rodriguez, who is part of Maduro's regime, if the motivation for the U.S. was partly to go against narco-terrorism and Maduro's regime. And he said, look, the immediate reality is what we have to work with, and that is whoever is on the ground. He was asked why he wasn't working with opposition figures, and he said a lot of the opposition figures were out of the country, and so they had to deal with whoever was there at the moment. All of this is drawing so many parallels with what the U.S. did back in 1990, where they went into Panama and captured Manuel Noriega, the leader of Panama at the time, brought him to the U.S. He was tried in the U.S. The difference in that situation was that as soon as the U.S. captured Noriega, they also swore in the opposition leaders. So there was no vacuum. There was no power vacuum at the time, although there were questions back then, as there are now, about the legality of the situation.